Welcome to the Survivor Fans Podcast. I'm Joanne.
And I'm Stacy. We're here with Michaela from Survivor Millennials versus Gen X.
Hi, Joanna. How are you doing?
Good. How are you, Michaela?
I'm doing as good as I can be, as good as I can be.
Well, thanks for speaking with us today. Tell us how you were chosen to be on Survivor.
Basically, I applied to Amazing Race, and in the process of applying to Amazing Race, I was contacted by CBS, and they were like, have you considered Survivor? And I was like, yes, I just need to stop procrastinating. So I applied for Survivor, and it was just the right time for the right season, Millennials versus Gen X, so it kind of just happened.
Perfect.
You were a challenge beast, and we loved watching you. What did you do to prepare?
Oh, thank you.
What did you do to prepare once you found out you were going to be on the show?
Outside of just staying in shape in general, one thing I did was I moved all my stuff into storage, and I started living in my car. And the reason that I did that is because I wanted to get super uncomfortable and get used to living in a weird environment. So when you live in your car, you gotta think about how you're gonna take a shower and then get to work. You gotta get used to people walking past your car or driving past your car at nighttime. You got to get used to street lights beaming in. You got to get used to being cold, being cramped up, not feeling good, not waking up refreshed and still operating. So doing that, it put me in the right frame of mind to be sleeping outside and sleeping in the rain. And people always laughed at my ability to sleep through lots of things. So I was starving, but I was not exhausted most of the time.
How did your alliance react to you telling Jeff that Figgy should have left the game a long time ago?
Some people didn't like that. I know Hannah loved it. But Jay, that was not Jay's idea of a good time. I know that because Jay was one of my alliance members, and Figgy was one of his alliance members. So I was kind of Jay's side chick, if you will. So he didn't like that. But that was what it was.
Of the four millennials on the other two tribes, who are you planning to bring into your existing alliance at the merge?
I was planning to bring in Zeke and Adam because, again, I knew that Jay, Taylor, Figgy, and Michelle were together. I knew that Will was the next person in line for that alliance, and so I'm too far out of that circle. So that's why Figgy needed to go, because Figgy went, Taylor is going to have an attitude towards me, so I can't trust him. But Adam is a free agent now as far as millennials are concerned. He doesn't know that he had a home. So it's like Zeke and Adam clearly, and Hannah had a connection with both of them. So that's what I was going to go for.
We haven't heard much from Will or Hannah. How would you describe their gameplay?
I would say Hannah's gameplay is underplayed on the show thus far. Hannah is very smart. She's not articulate all of the time. She's very goofy, and we've seen a lot of the goofy aspects of her. But Hannah's smart. She had that whole Popular Kids Alliance confused. They thought that she was dumb and she didn't know what was happening. They had no clue that she was planning to, that she was in an alliance with Zeke, Mari, and Adam, right? They had no clue whatsoever. So Hannah's a smart one. Now, Will was a waffler. He was a person that was just in the middle and then just like went one way or the other. He definitely had something to do with me getting voted out, but he would have had no shot of pulling it off had Jay not gone along with it. So I would say I hadn't seen much from Will thus far, strategy-wise, but Hannah, even though she got left out of our 2 votes, she's a smart girl, and it's just a matter of her having the confidence to operate in it.
You seem so surprised to get even the first 2 votes last night. Who did you think Brett and Sunday were going to be voting for?
If the plan was going to go how the plan was going to go, they should have voted for each other. So the fact that my name was written down once, I knew there was a problem, because no one would randomly say, I'm going to vote for Michaela, because that's not the attitude of our tribe. So when it happened twice, I'm like, okay, Brett and Sunday are clearly working together. That means they're working with someone else. Because, again, I wouldn't be the target. I love Brett. I love Sunday. They love me. But they don't want to go home, right? So the third one, I'm like, okay, Jay, you got to be part of this because Will wouldn't do it without you. And then the fourth one came, and it was like, I'm going home.
I think we were as shocked as you were about the vote-offs. How long did it take you to process that blindside?
It took a while. They had to edit out a lot of time because I was not planning to go home at all. Like, I had visions of sitting Final 3 every single day. Like, I was willing that thing into existence. And it was devastating. It was a blow to the heart more than anything else. I'm like, Jay, you betrayed me, boy. So, if there's a full scene, you'll see I left my torch. I went to Jeff, and I didn't have a torch, and he was like, Michaela, go back and get the torch. I went back and got the torch, picked it up, threw it in the hole, and I was like, wait, don't snuff me yet. I got to get my shoes. Because it was just crazy. So, man, the playback was surreal.
How did it impact you to find out that you just missed the merge?
In the moment, I did not care about the merge, even after the moment. I did not play Survivor to play halfway. Mm-hmm. I wasn't one of those people saying, oh, I hope I make it to the merge. I hope I make it to the loved ones visit. I play full out. I wanted to win $1 million, and it just so happened that the merge was on the way to $1 million. So I was not thinking of consolation prizes. The merge meant nothing to me except some guaranteed food. I was devastated to be out of the running for $1 million.
Once Jay said he betrayed you, why didn't you tell everyone he had an idol?
That's the question of the day. Why'd you keep that secret? And I think it goes back to me as a person. I'm a fierce competitor, but I also respect competition. And I know that whenever you're playing a game, there's always a chance that you could lose. And if you can't handle losing, don't play to begin with. So for me, I'm not a sore loser. I might get mad, but I'm not going to try to ruin someone else's game just because mine did not work out the way I wanted it to. So that was just me just saying, you know what? It's one thing if I would have strategically released that information during the actual game, but once I got that fourth vote, my game was over. So for me to try to ruin Jay's game just because he pulled a fast one on me, that's not my style.
Was there anything else interesting at Tribal Council that got discussed that we didn't get to see in the episode?
No, it was just kind of, the vibe of that tribal was like a solemn one. Like, really, we did not want to vote each other out. This was not, I don't think anyone's going to go back to camp and be happy and be celebrating that Michaela got voted out. I think it'll be like, we're happy we're here, but dang, that sucks. Or I hope that's how it goes. But it was just a solemn thing, and they pulled a fast one on me, and they got me good.
What about the build-up with Brett lying about being a cop? Did that not come up? It seemed like we were dancing around it last night.
Oh, yeah. I mean, to me, I guess to some people, considering that Tony was a cop or whatever, to me it didn't matter. I don't care about your occupation. That doesn't mean anything to me. I liked Brett as a person, so I thought he was hilarious. I was looking forward to playing with him. So considering that people had so much hoopla about his profession, I wasn't really trying to feed into it because I liked Brett, and I felt like I could trust him as long as it doesn't come down to me or him.
But it didn't come up in Tribal Council at all?
I don't remember it coming up in Tribal Council.
Okay.
In your day after video, you said that you knew Michelle was lying about you being in her final 3. Who else did she say was going to be in the final 3 with the two of you?
So Michelle was trying to make me believe or lead me to believe that her, Jay, and myself were a thing. But I'm the one who shared that idea initially because Michelle, Jay, and Hannah were basically the only people that were willing to talk to me the first couple days of the game. Because if you notice from the first episode, you had your quote-unquote popular kids on one side, you had your nerdy kids on the other side, and I was the one who was in the middle, and Will was playing both sides, right? So no one was talking to me, and Jay was the only one who was bold enough to speak. Michelle was kind enough to speak, and I was like, hopefully I get to ride this wave out of here, but, I look at y'all different than everybody else because y'all are willing to go against the grain for me. So, but, as things go on, she's talking about this alliance that we have, and I see, no, your loyalty is with Figgy and Jay and Taylor. That's not me, especially considering that Taylor doesn't talk to me and Figgy don't like me. So I just knew that wasn't going to work.
You've said the social game was difficult for you. What would you change if you get the opportunity to play again?
If I were to have the chance to play again, I would, one, just come in knowing that no one is playing this game for me to win $1 million. They're playing for them. So I can't trust anybody 100%, and I need to realize if I have any suspicion about a person, I need to take action immediately, because a lack of action is going to be what gives someone else an opportunity to send me home. So those are the two things socially I would do. Just understand that I cannot trust people. Understand that even if I feel like I can trust somebody, it's only for a short period of time. They have to prove and renew that trust every single day. And understand also, if I feel like I can't trust somebody, they need to go home.
Was there anything you wish had been shown about you on the show that didn't make it on air?
No. I think the producers did an awesome job of showing the meat. There was a huge relationship between myself and Hannah that was not explored, but, it's irrelevant because I just got voted off. So I think they did an awesome job. Like, I feel like America got to see me, the best of me, and even the parts of me that I'm working on right now, which is, how do I communicate under pressure? And that's something I'm working on. So I completely own everything you saw, and I think it was great.
How has your view of yourself and Survivor changed after this experience?
The interesting thing is I've learned to appreciate the journey more, because right after getting voted off, or the rest of my time on Ponderosa, I considered myself as a person who lost the game. Which makes me a loser, right? Not in life, but just in this one aspect of life, I was a loser because I lost, right? But watching it on TV, it made me realize, no, Michaela, you weren't a loser in Survivor. Like, you were a boss. You got things done, girl.
Yeah.
You just didn't make it to the end. And people who don't make it to the end don't make it for a variety of reasons. Some people are annoying. Some people just suck. Some people are good and leave a good impression, and just people don't want to go up against them or whatever. I think my reasons for getting voted off bode positively for me as a person. So I think I consider that a win, even though it's not $1 million win.
That's a nice way to look at it. Did you have any injuries while you were out there?
Did I have any injuries? The first night when our shelter broke and we essentially slept in the mud, I was apparently sitting on an ant pile. So if you go back to, there's a particular picture of me sitting down, getting interviewed or whatever on the island. If you look at my legs, you literally see all these bumps up and down my legs. From the knee to the ankle was completely, welted and covered in bumps, because I was bit all night by bugs. And that was the worst thing. I don't think I had any other issues besides just bug bites.
What's it been like watching with your family and friends?
It's been a fun experience watching my family and friends. It's cool for people to see me, gritting things out in that type of environment. And it's also cool to see, a person like my dad who, he's the type of person, he wants to know his kids are safe, so he's completely fine if we stay home and do nothing else. But, see him get emotional, when I started the fire and cried, even though it was a relief cry, for him, seeing his daughter cry is devastating. So he was almost, I'm not going to watch the show anymore. Little did he know he only had one more episode. Anyway, but yeah, it's been a really fun thing.
What else do your fans need to know about Michaela?
Fans need to know that Michaela never gives up, and that I appreciate all the kind words that people have spoken on the internet and stuff like that, and that I was wishing I could pull this out for them, because I know there are a lot of people rooting for me, but hey, I entered in an epic fashion, and I left in one apparently as well. So if nothing else, if I can't get the win, I'll take that.
What's next for you?
I'm still working on my business and the things that I'm doing. I have my own focuses, but I'm just determined to gain success any way that I can. So I came so close to my first $1 million, and I'm only 25, so I got to find a way to get this $1 million as redemption.
Well, Michaela, thank you for sharing with us today, and good luck to you. I hope you make that $1 million.